of the easiest and quickest ways of getting across an idea visually is through the use of the cartoon.
Specifically, Heathcliff.
People are attracted to cartoons because they love to laugh.
Ha, ha, ha.
And it's the cartoonist who is able to combine humor with ideas.
Sounds wild.
In the beginning stages, sometimes referred to as blocking in,
What?
it becomes very obvious that the circle or oval-like variations of the circle can be an excellent way of beginning the cartoon.
Uses of... Oh, use it to circle ads for call center jobs.
Start by concentrating all of your attention on the circle. Practice on all variations of the circle. Draw freely, but firmly.
Do it for the exposure.
When you have accomplished this and can draw the circle well, you have the basis for making cartoons.
Jagged or angular objects have no place in our shared cultural heritage.
For instance, a head can be drawn simply by using nothing but circles, or parts of circles.
Okay, circles. I wrote it down. A minute in, already ethnically problematic. The streak continues.
By combining circle shapes and altering their sizes, you can draw all kinds of things.
Fat Mexicans, fat Chinese, fat Eskimos. The sky's the limit. Now, what am I complaining about? Gaucho the Eighth Dwarf is a representation win.
After your drawings are completed, it's well to analyze them to see if your finished lines have accomplished their purpose. Your cartoon should be pleasant, lively, and appealing.
Unless you work at Adult Swim. Congratulations, you made a Simpsons couch gag. 1, 2, 3, go.
In the beginning, if you are patient while practicing these simple things, you'll find that soon you have developed the ability to extend them. Even the seasoned professional cartoonist uses the circle for blocking in.
Even the Pringles man is circle-based. Use circles to add multiple goiters to your drawings. With cartoons and your imagination, there's no limit to the number of bananas your character can stick up his nose. Just throw a sash that says capitalism on there and sell it to the Wall Street Journal. Now all you need is some merch and your Grover Cleveland webcomic is ready to launch. Don't stop until your drawing is a solid black rectangle. Here's a different drawing for some reason. Hello? Oh, he's bitten by a radioactive Gene Shalit. Okay. What now? Does it come to life? Hello? My eyes are up here, boys.
Many times the subject in finished form will seem to be very slightly influenced by the circle. But if we study more closely, we find that this cartoon cow is built almost entirely with circular construction.
Shapes with hard angles are products of the globalist Luciferians working for George Soros to infiltrate our democracy. It's true. Look it up.
Drawing expressions may seem complicated to you.
Yes, it does, very much.
The cartoonist, through simplification, shows us how easy it can be.
Yeah, if you don't try.
The elements which make an expression are the eyebrows, the eyes,
And the circle.
and the mouth.
Oh.
The nose may remain unchanged.
You never met my Uncle Pat.
It has always been the practice of good cartoonists to use the mirror in planning expressions. His own features will reflect to him the necessary information that he needs.
And a little extra.
For a smile, we notice several basic things. The eyebrows are raised. The eyes narrow into a crescent shape. The mouth turned up at the corners.
This one's called the John Candy. The cartoon fell asleep. Hello?
When we have this information, we find it a simple matter to transfer it to our cartoon.
Not very helpful.
For a frown, the eyebrows are in a different place. They're closer to the eyes. The mouth is, of course, turned down.
And for what?
We may exaggerate this in our cartoon.
Actually, the human guy looks more cartoony than the cartoon.
Crying is a more complicated expression, but it too can be broken down into essentials.
Snowflake.
The eyes and eyebrows are in about the same position as they were in the frowning expression, but the eyes are now closed, and the mouth is open and turned downward.
We just invented the tragedy mask. I wasted my life.
There is no end to the number of expressions you can figure out when practicing in front of a mirror.
Okay, there's just 4.
Merely simplify them for your cartoons.
Turn your emotions into jokes and further alienate yourself from family and friends. This is what a cartoon character looks like when he Google image searches himself.
It makes no difference from what angle you draw your expressions.
That's a relief.
The basic idea remains the same.
Not getting a real job. This is so interesting!
In cartooning, there is no real standard for proportion. Therefore, the cartoonist can have fun in drawing things humorously,
Take that, boy RD.
rather than as they actually are. The extravagant nose on the cook gives him a special sense of arrogance.
And foreigniness.
Animals are favorite subject matter for the cartoonist, especially when he can make them seem very human.
Ugh.
There's no rule for size and exaggeration. Accentuating certain objects sometimes contributes to the idea.
Just make up anatomy as you go.
Exaggeration may also deal with emotional themes,
Like girls, am I right, fellas?
like this man suddenly falling in love.
Swing!
We know that this doesn't happen,
Ain't that the
but the
truth?
effect is amusing, and the point comes across if you take advantage of your right to exaggerate. There are several ways to get the feeling of action or movement in cartoons.
Circles and big noses.
Simple stick figures can give you the general structure of any pose you're going to draw.
Hey, it's Manic Mailman.
Study all types of action. Notice the position of a person running. A simple outline will then accomplish your statement.
And that statement is what?
Here is a car,
The end. Good night.
quietly standing still on the paper.
Maybe it's out of gas.
A few motion lines here and there, a shadow underneath, and a tilted position are enough to suggest that the car is in action.
But enough of that. Kangaroos.
Drawing the same form in slightly differing positions is another way of showing action.
Is this movie ever going to cover stink lines and fart clouds? Huh?
A man drawn with his head in 3 positions
Zaphod
seems to
Beeblebox.
be in utter confusion. He just doesn't know where to turn.
Now I'm confused. What's going on here?
Cartoonists also use words and implied action to give movement to their work.
That's me when the movie's over.
To become a professional cartoonist takes years of study and training, just as it does for any highly skilled profession.
Or you can just make Simpsons
You may
memes.
never wish to become a pro, but you like doing drawings that you can put to your own use. Add this to your skills and enjoy cartooning just for the fun of it.
A young Jim Davis saw this movie and got dollar signs in his eyes. Goodbye.